Welcome back to series where we explore Relativity's short message file format and figure out what Nikolai is drinking this evening. Let's go onto the screen. I have lots of updates for you today. All right. Okay, we're in the Visual Studio, so let me start application and show you what it looks like. No major UI changes. This is what it looks like. It pretty much was as before. So what we got, I'm going to go down the list. I made a list of changes, so I'm just going to go down the list. First thing we got is registration. So when you launch an application, it says application is not activated or registered, whatever we want to call it, but generate RSMF button is enabled. So application is in a demo mode. If we to load some data, and if we were to run it just like we did before, it would work. However, the data that you would get from application would be incomplete. So I'm going to show you that. So this is how I decided to do. Let me open this up, and this keeps opening their own screen. Okay, so if we look at our text messages, right? Okay, here's the point. So it's being replaced saying thank you for testing app from #legal, right? So some messages are going to be real and some are going to be like a placeholders. So this way you could fully evaluate this application, and it includes every message. It's just text is missing. Now to activate this application, what we'll do is we're going to go to help, activate. It's going to open up a window, right? And this will give you a key that identifies your computer. So what you'll do is you'll take this ID from your computer and you will email that. You'll copy it, put it in an email. And what I'm going to do is I have and I will generate an activation code, which I'll do on a separate screen. And I will send you a code back, which you're going to just paste here. And it's like an encrypted thing. And you're going to click activate. And bam, it'll tell you what the application is, when it expires. And you see the message is gone. So now if we generate our RSMF file, go to here, let it refresh, you'll see that all the text messages are there just like in the original. Nothing had changed. Okay, so that is activation. Next, as you may have seen, application has a name. I was thinking about what name to come up with, and I came up with message crawler. And then I kind of thought, well, crawler is something that's kind of slow, but crawler is also powerful, so I think it'll do just fine. So message crawler is what we are going to call this application, or I will, and hopefully you will too. Next update. Remember we had EML files that were cut off. So when you were to open them, it would show up only like up to a certain part. So let me rename it, one of the files, to EML, which is going to be this guy. And it's going to open. Okay, and now you see that the email is no longer cut off. The whole thing shows up. And this took me way longer to figure out than it should. And I was trying to read EML specifications, and they were just like super dry reading, and I couldn't figure out exactly what I needed to do. And after trial and error and more research, basically I figured out what the header here should be. And right now it appears to be fine. So I am going to do some more testing just to make sure it opens up in the processing application. Like after you process, make sure it shows up fine. And I think that's going to be it, because I think I got it figured out. All right, what do we got next? The other thing I spend a lot of time on is a button that I created here to upload messages directly to Relativity, which seemed like was a great idea, right? So instead of writing it to a folder, you just click a button, specify workspace, click a button, and it's just going to upload them all, right? And after creating all that, I realized that's a terrible way of doing it, because let me show you. So let me open the most hated browser ever, and I will show you what it says about this file format. Actually, we're gonna need to go to the workflow, and what they say here is that this files, right, so what they say here is relativity processing is recommended for SMF files to ensure attachment avatar, and it says so single file upload will have limited functionality, so making a cross-reference file and just loading it or using single file upload is not going to do it. So what I would have to do is, there are API for processing, but that's like a whole different level of messing about that I'm not ready for right now. So what we're going to leave it is I just took the button out and we wasted a bunch of time, but you know, it was cool. I mean, it worked for a while, but so that's been done and removed. Yeah, not exciting. And I still haven't been able to figure out what's going on with other metadata, why it doesn't show up. So that's going to be my next series of steps. Is I'm going to process more data through this, make sure it looks good on Relativity. I will talk to Relativity guys, figure out what's going on with other fields. And once other fields is working, I would say this application would be complete. So the only thing you will not be able to do is mix different types of platforms into one RSMF file. Again, it was shown at the demo, but I don't know how useful it is from the practical standpoint. Again, we'll have to adjust and figure it out as we use this. Okay, so next step. I'm going to put this up on my website. I already spoke with few people who will help me do more testing with some real world data. If you are one of the testers, thank you very much for agreeing to play with this. Keep in mind this is a beta product, so you have to check everything. You have to rename RSMF to EML, open the attachment, zip, JSON file, look at it, make sure everything's accounted for. Of course, don't use this on real projects just yet. Even if you have clients in Relativity 1, it's best if you can use it on test data. So if you have a problem, you can share data with me. So you're not just telling me like, oh, it crashed on 5th message. And well, I'm going to ask like, what's the 5th message? And you're like, well, I can show it to you. So like, that's not going to help me. Then that's it. That's all I have on my list. So that's where we are. This is a working application. Aside from other fields, which is could be considered optional, everything works. Oh, the other thing I probably should use relativity processing. Maybe that's why other fields don't show up, is because I didn't use processing. I used single file upload. So I will test that out. Yep, so that's update for now. Application is ready. Could technically be used on a live project. But I'm going to do some more testing and let you know. Oh, and I still haven't answered the question. What am I drinking tonight? Well, it's Friday night, so I am drinking this. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video.